Hi, my name is Christy Fields, and I am Senior Executive Sales Leader in Louisville, Kentucky. My team is Team Back Be Gone, and I am on Sparkle Squad, which is my upline, Leah Sweetman's team. And then my grandmother in the business is Amy Taylor, and we are all on Gleam Team. So that is our lineage, period. I want to come on here to share with you how I have learned in the last 3 or 4 weeks how to turn a 99% home party business into a complete 100% online platform business, which the platform I use is Facebook groups, and I go live. So I'm going to share with you why I've done that and a little bit of how. And then we will open this up for a Q&A at a later date on, I believe, Sparkle Squad, or maybe even on Gleam Team or something like that. Okay, so why did, we all know why we had to move our home parties onto online platforms. You might be using Zoom or Facebook Live or Squee or texting parties or however. But I've only done Facebook Live. And before, I call it the COVID period, which on my calendar started March 16th. And before then, I did a Facebook party in August of last year. I don't do very many of them. I don't like them. They were always hit and miss for me. My jam is home parties, and I would say I do, but right now we're not doing home parties. But I did an eight in-home parties a month on average is what I did. Home parties are my jam. In the last 6 months, I've been traveling about an hour to an hour and a half away, one way for one party that usually averaged about $750 to $1,000 party. And that was my average. Okay. So I've had to completely move that business over into online Facebook. And this is why I did that, because this is half of our income, and a lot of you, this is your only income, whether it be you're a single parent or your spouse has, like mine, have their hours cut or their jobs completely taken from them. So whatever the reason is, that's my reason. Whatever your reasoning is, this is my reasoning, is because this is half our income, and I was scared to death to lose that. I couldn't lose that. So I just was scared. And I would entitle this training is Do It Scared, but just do it. What is it? I want you to think about, what is it that we want? What is it that we're after? Of course, we're after to share Norwex. We want to share Norwex with the 98% of the homes that don't know about Norwex. Only 2% do. So we're on a mission. And so how do we get there, right? So we want an audience. We need to be in front of an audience in order to educate. This is why even Norwex, we have a convention or conferences twice a year. It is much more beneficial to get a lot of information and education in front of a large audience at one time than it is for little bits here at a time. So that is what we want. So we incentivize our hosts when they're doing when we're doing home parties, we incentivize them to have 10 adults in the chairs, so that, because we know that if 10 adults come, and usually if 10 buy, we might generate an average of a $750 party, anywhere from $500 to $1,000 party. So we understand that the higher the number of people that watch us will generate the higher sales. It helps the host, and it also helps with our sales. And we are in the business of serving others. So we are serving our hosts when we do parties, right? So, so what is it that we want? We want an audience, okay? And so I have learned and tried to figure out how to get a large audience on Facebook, and I'm here to show you how I'm doing multi-host parties or multi-host workshops. And so multi-hosts is wonderful because you are going to work harder or work smarter and not harder, and you're going to have multiple hosts within one group, and therefore you have a larger audience to educate one time. And so that is what I've done. Now, I'm going to give you stats just to show you that this works. I'm not a rock star. I am just an average person who does an average of 8 parties a month. That's what I do. And so I will share some stats with you that hopefully will motivate you and maybe encourage you to not be paralyzed or not be scared, or even if you are scared, that's okay, but just to do this, okay? You need an audience, and how are we going to get the audience, right? We get hosts, and how do you get a host when you have none? You get on the phone and you call everybody you know and say, hey, are you tired of watching Netflix, night in, night out, every night of the week? How would you like to just gather some friends and watch me do some demos, some really fun demos out of the kitchen, with some raw chicken if that's what you want to do, or some butter, or whatever demos that you love to do? How would you like to just, watch me, bring some of your friends, watch me, and then Norwex gives you free stuff, right? It's easy. You don't have to clean your house. You don't have to leave your house. You don't have to do anything. Make snacks. You just simply create a group or an event, and you invite I do groups. So you have your host invite her guests to the group, and then what I do is I go live one time. I open up the party, or the group, I should say, or the workshop. I open it up usually up on Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, and then we go Friday, Saturday, and I post a few things per day. And then on Monday nights is when I go live at a designated time that everybody knows. I make an invitation, and then the host gives out the invitation. She texts it or Facebook Messenger that invitation to her guests, and then she gets those people into a group with their permission. So they get into this group, right? And then I do some before and afters. I show videos that Norwex has given us, and just different images that I've collected through the years. And you can get them off Pinterest. You can get them off Flickr, wherever. Even in our resource, you can get all kinds of images in our back office. So anyway, that's what I do. I post various times throughout the week. I try to do some posts like, what's your most frustrating cleaning challenge, and where do you stand with Norwex? One, a virgin Norwex virgin newbie, and then all the way to I'm a rock star, love Norwex. I have everything. It's a really good gauge for your audience to know where they stand, and encourage them, if they're ones and twos, to show up live for you. So where are we going to do our parties now? I do mine in Facebook groups. You can do them in other platforms as well. When I do mine on one night, so I do a few things before, leading up, just to educate, excite people, get them real excited, and then I go live at one time, and then I keep that open for about a week afterwards. If I do a Monday night party or a Monday night workshop, I'll close it out Friday at midnight. Okay. Who's going to help get us those people there? It's going to be the host. And so you get a host, and you have her invite. I try to have my host invite 40 to 50 people to the group, and I incentivize her with a gift, a body cloth, if she gets 20 people to watch me live. So she has to keep track of that, by the way, and she has to come back to me and tell me the number. For instance, last week at my workshop, I had 6 hosts. One of those hosts, she had 38 people watching me by midnight that night. She had $990 in sales. She wound up with a $1,200 party. She had 3 bookings, and she joined. So the numbers don't lie. The more people you are educating, the more people that you are in front of, the bigger your audience, the higher your sales, the higher your team building numbers, and of course bookings, okay? So that's how that works, okay? So what is it that we want? We want an audience. Norwex is a fantastic platform, Facebook is a fantastic platform for that, because, one host or lots of hosts can bring in their people into one group, and at one time you go live. Or there are other ways for you to do this. You can do little videos throughout the week. There's a resource called Revamp Group on Facebook. It's Revamp multi-host, how to do multi-host parties. Lots of great information there. It's where I learned a lot. I don't do everything exactly like they do. I'm just kind of doing what's working for me, and we'll have a Q&A about that at another time. Why? Why are we doing it this way, or why are we doing this to begin with? And we are, we're doing this multi-host anyway, at least I am, to work smarter, not harder. I'm doing one presentation, and then I'm in front of, I've done three multi-host Facebook parties, and the first one had 2 hosts in it, the second one had 4, and the third one had 6, and tonight I have 8. Okay. My goal is to do 2 live presentations or 2 workshops a month, where I might have 15 people in each workshop. Okay. So now those are the reasons why, how, who, and all of those kinds of things. And now I'll give you the stats just to motivate you, hopefully, that this can work. Okay. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. You need an audience, and then you do the education part. And if you don't even know how to do a Facebook party, if you're brand new to Facebook, a Norwex party. If you don't even, if you're just new to Norwex, you just signed up, get your party cards out of your kit, and you can literally go live on that group at a designated time and read the cards word for word. It's fine. But since March 16th up until now, till April 13th, I've had $12,192.17 in sales, and that is less than a month. Okay, so that is 3 single Facebook parties, just 3 single hosts. So I went 3 times live presentation in my kitchen, out of my kitchen, for 3 single hosts. Then I've had 3 multi-host parties. Again, 2 hosts, then 4, and then 6. I'm not doing it intentionally. It's just how it worked. But I will tell you that since March 16th, and I call these my COVID sales, I've had the 12,000 in sales. I had 24 bookings, 3 multi-host parties, and 3 single parties. Okay, so my first multi-host party, I had 2 hosts, and I had $1,500 in sales. I had 2 bookings, and had $695 by midnight, and I'll tell you that in just a second. The second multi-host party, I had 4 hosts, and it was $2,309.79, 6 bookings, and I had $1,000 in sales by midnight, and I'll tell you why that's important. And then I had another single host party. She went from a home party into a Facebook party, and she was at $1,200 in sales, or she closed out at $1,200, and she had 2 bookings. And then she had $890 by midnight. My last party that I had was a multi-host party, number 3, and it was last Monday. I had 6 hosts, and it was $4,289.44. I had 6 hosts. I had 11 bookings. 1 more booking is coming because I gave her a sample. She requested that, just a sample of the basic package. She wants to use it before she decides to book a party. One of my hosts signed up, the one who had 38 people watching me during my live. She wound up signing up, and she wound up having a $1,200 party, by the way. And she signed up, and then I've got another gal that's going to sign up at the end of April. Okay. And last Monday night, in the first hour, just in the first hour, I had 6 hosts in the first hour after I went live. And during my live, by the way, I do a Safe Haven 5, I do the mop, I do the rubber brush, and I do the, what else do I do? Oh, the body cloth. So that's like the kit, the starter kit. So that's a great way to also say, hey, everything I showed you tonight, you can get in your kit. So it's just another way to do that. So that's what I do, is about 45 minutes long, just like a regular home party. Anyway, in the first hour, I had $1,500 in orders. In the second hour, I had $2,500 in orders. And by midnight, I had $2,600 in orders. Okay. So, why do I say by midnight? Because what I do in my live is, I let them know that I'm getting ready to put up the shopping links, and I use Linktree. Again, we'll talk about that at another time. But I put up the different hosts, different shopping links, and they choose that. They choose the host that invited them in their order so that they can get the credit. The host gets the credit. And I give them a travel cloth for every order that comes in by midnight. So if you order by midnight tonight, is what I tell them in the live, then they will, I will mail them a travel cloth the next day. Okay. And if they watch me live, if they watch me live, then they will be put into a drawing. If the guests, they watch me live, I will give them, I'll put them into a drawing for a body cloth. And the host who gets her people to watch me, and she gets at least 20 people to watch me during the live, then she automatically gets a body cloth Doesn't matter how many sales or buying guests she has. I just want 20 people in front of me. So last week, it would have been 60 times, if everybody did what I asked them to do, I would have had 120. 6 times 2 is 120. 120, and I did have that. I had 180 people in the group. And I had like 70 watching, but then some went back and watched, and it wound up to be a $4,200 party. So I say all that to say that, again, I'm not a rock star, but this can be done, and I hope that you give it a try, even if you're scared, and even if you just do one host, that's fine. You'll get bookings off of that. Incentivize your host. Hey, if you get me 2 bookings, I'll give you laundry detergent, or I'll give you whatever it is that you have. But incentivize what you want. If right now you need bookings, you need hosts to begin with, to even get in those groups, then get them, incentivize them some way, somehow. Incentivize your bookings, and and get people to watch you, even if it's you reading the cards. So I hope that helps. We'll have a Q&A at another time, and you can ask me individual questions, okay? And I'll be really happy to help you. Love to help. So thanks, and you all have a great day and a great week.